Buying cars. Let's talk about it.
What is this car? 2013 Chevy Spark.
So I bought this car and I went to buy here, pay here place, October of 2022.
So what's the interest rate?
28%.
Oh,
Not my worst. Not my worst.
no, I saw 110 earlier.
Yes.
That doesn't mean 28% is good. What is owed on this car?
It's still without the principal balance on it is $12,000. The
You
with
paid off half?
with
2
the
years?
interest. So they
No,
only
what's the total owed?
well they won't tell me the total amount with the interest. When I go to make my payments on it, it shows as $12,000.
Okay, but not what's interest accrued on top of it?
Yeah. So
I'm seeing $13,000.
yeah,
Are you sure?
that it's that I bought it for $23,000. Yes. The loan was sold to a different company,
So we don't even know how this is paid. Okay.
and when it was sold to a different company, this is the amount it dropped down to.
What's your minimum monthly car payment?
$135 a week.
A week?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I haven't had one of those since like the third episode I ever recorded. I mean, I just heard one of them almost have just a financial orgasm back there because of how insane that is. That's insane. $540 a month.
And
Which again is this, you breaking it down by week is what makes it crazier. But that's how they make it digestible for you. What's the condition of the car?
it has no AC. So drive.
Well, I mean, it could just be recharged, maybe.
No, it needs a whole new
Oh sure.
thing.
Oh sure.
So no AC. Has 130,000 miles on it.
Mm-hmm.
The car only lasts about 150,000 miles. So in probably about
What's
another
the
year or
condition
so.
of the car though?
Poor.
Okay.
Yes.
So we've taken that into account and got your valuation. What do you think this car's worth that you owe anywhere from $13,000 to $20,000 on?
Car, maybe it's worth $5,000.
This blew my mind, and I'm gonna blow my own mind out. $1,389, and you owe potentially $20,000. Lowest 13.
Yes. Yeah.
This is the most underwater, insane car.
Yes.
You're paying a third of the car's value in a monthly payment
Oh yeah.
every month.
This car is a car that should have never been created.
This is why I make my videos. Guys, I can't even fathom a 28% interest rate on a car. A couple of videos ago, I was just talking about how crazy 25% interest rate is on your credit cards. Guys, that's, oh my gosh, if you're buying like, let's see, so she said she bought her car for 20-something thousand. I mean, what is that? Let's do the math real quick. $20,000 at 28%, it's about $5,600 a year divided by 12. It's $467 a month in just interest payments. Oh my goodness. Makes me want to throw up. But this is why I make these videos, guys, because some people don't know. You could tell when he was asking her questions, you could tell she like just wasn't sure how everything worked out. And I think this happens to a lot of people when they go car shopping. They get intimidated because I hear it all the time in the mortgage business. Like when I'm talking to people, it's so easy. It's so easy for people to be taken advantage of because they simply don't know. They don't know the right questions to ask and they don't know what to look out for. It's kind of like they're putting trust in this person. Oh, yeah, whatever you say works, that's fine. And then they just sign on the dotted line and they basically screwed themselves over. Because, I mean, looking at this guy's like a car payment, one bad car deal could hurt you and set you back many years financially. So the thing here is please, guys, like, do your research. When you are going to buy a car, don't just jump into the first thing that you see and that someone's going to be able to say, hey, yeah, I can do this for you. Like, research. Understand the numbers. If you don't understand, ask questions. If you still don't understand, say, hey, I'm going to go home and research this on my own. And if they're pushing you to buy it now, walk away. Walk away. Do not ever sign on a dotted line on a big purchase if you aren't 100% sure how everything is broke out. And ask questions. If they're not wanting to answer your questions, that's a red flag. Go buy a car from somebody else. You gotta be careful out there, guys. You gotta find somebody, one, that's trustworthy, which is honestly really hard in today's age. I hate that. But also just understand what you're getting into. Take the time to teach yourself and to do the research up front so you can at least kind of know what to look out for.
I have $60,000 worth of car debt, with about $30,000 of that being in negative equity. And let me tell you how the dealership scammed me, because I bought my car by myself back in 2022 and I got scammed, and I don't want y'all to get scammed. So let's talk about it. I went in spring of 2022 to buy my Jeep. I wanted the Jeep Wrangler, which is the hybrid car, part gas, part electric. And anyways, during that time, they didn't have a lot of stock because of COVID. And so basically they were going to order my Jeep, and it would come within 3 months. Well, the dealership guy told me that they could put me in a Jeep off the lot for 3 months with no loan payment, and then they would roll the loan over to the new Jeep when it came in. I was like, oh, that sounds great. So I signed it. I didn't have any payments. My Jeep came in the mail. My Jeep came, I went and I picked it up, and y'all, when he sat me down, he handed me a piece of paper that said that the car was like $100,000. And when I tell you, I about had a fit, because when I had originally went in, the finance guy told me that my monthly payment was going to be like $600. And then when I told the car salesman that when I was picking up the Jeep, he said that the finance guy lied, and that's why he doesn't work there anymore. And now I'm stuck with $1,000 car payment. And the reason why I have negative equity is because somehow, and I still don't know how he did it. I worked with a lemon law attorney, and I still don't know how he did it. But basically, when he rolled the first loan into the second one, he somehow kept it higher. I don't understand how negative equity works. I honestly don't. So if you ask me questions about that, I probably can't help. But basically, if I were to sell my Jeep today, I'd be lucky if I got like $35,000 on it, and I still owe $59,000. Yeah, so if you see this video, feel free to repost it, like it, comment, share, tell me I'm an idiot. I know I'm an idiot. I literally talked to like 3 different people, and they're like, you know, everyone makes stupid decisions when they're younger, and most of the people that I've talked to, they've made stupid decisions when it's come to cars as well. And you know what? I have to live with it. But don't make the same mistake as me just because you want a nice car, because guess what? If I could go back, I would get a used Toyota or Honda and just stick with that.
When I react to these videos, I use these as teaching moments, right? I'm not the one that tends to like hate on people and bash on them and do that. It's more of, I want to see and I want to show people the decisions that really have to be made out there in the real world for my younger generation who's just getting started, or for people who have gone through life and just thought that was normal and never really understood kind of what it takes or what the other choices are out there when it comes to these big financial decisions in our life. And one of the biggest middle-class financial killers is buying a car. It really is. It's one of the worst decisions most people make when it comes to their financial well-being, is buying a car that they can't afford, that's way too expensive, and then financing that car for a hefty monthly budget or a monthly car payment that's going to drown them every single month. Because guys, listen, some of these average car payments nowadays are between $500 and $700 a month. I'm sorry, but there's no nice car out there where I feel like I want to pay $750 a month for. That is crazy to me. And think about this, think about if you didn't have that car payment, what could you do with $750 a month? Let's do this. Let's throw that in a compound interest calculator, right? All right, so here we are. Compound interest calculator. We're going to assume we're starting at $0. So what I'm going to show you guys is, this example is basically, instead of putting the $750 towards a car payment, let's say you go buy a cheap used car off Facebook Marketplace, you pay $5,000, $6,000 for it, pay cash, and you drive it until the wheels fall off. And then that $750 payment you could have been making, now we're going to put it into the market. We're going to invest it in a basic index fund that tracks the S&P 500, VOO, something like that. Let's see what would happen to this $750 a month. And most people say you're going to have a car payment the rest of your life. So let's say an average working life, if you're younger, is 35 years. So let's go Current principal, we're just going to start at $0 because we're starting from nothing. Annual addition. So if we do $750 times 12, that's $9,000 annually you're going to add to this portfolio. We're going to do years to grow is going to be 35. And we're going to assume an 8% average return on your money, which is pretty average and typical in the stock market over the long term. Let's calculate that. Boom, looky there. Look at that. Almost $1.7 million you're leaving on the table if you are paying a $750 per month car payment for the rest of your life. That's crazy. Let's break that down real quick here. All I'm doing, guys, is one simple decision. That's one thing I'm changing. Instead of $750 going towards a car payment every month, in return, I'm going to invest that in a taxable brokerage account into VOO, which tracks the overall S&P 500. If I do that every single month, I pay that car payment to my brokerage account, invest it in VOO. If I get an 8% average return, in 35 years, I'm going to have $1.7 million freaking dollars. Here's the best thing. What happens to your car payment? Or what happens to your asset that you buy with the car payment? The car goes down in value. You ain't getting no $1.7 million from driving a sexy car, I'll tell you that much. Guys, we have got to think about the decisions we are making financially.
In 2024, I financed a 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee. My APR was a 25%. The truck costed about $35,000, and my car note was $950. But when I initially got ready to finance, it was $1,025 or $1,050. But he told me he was able to give me a deal, and he dropped it down to $950. But he also said I can come back in 3 months, and if I pay my car note on time, which was the $950 for 3 or 4 months, I can come back and refinance. Now, me personally, I never heard of anything like that, but I went on and took his word because I needed a vehicle. Now, when I first walked in the dealership, I wasn't trying to buy a vehicle. I just wanted to, drive one around and just get the feel of a new vehicle. But I ended up leaving a lot with one. At the time, I had just paid off my credit card, and my credit score was about a 6 something. So it still was low, so I should have waited. So that was on me. I'm going to take that L. When I say I love the vehicle, it was like a 28th edition or something like that. I kept it for about a month. In the second week, I was like, I can't afford this. Like, I had to pay $400 to even get my insurance on the vehicle. And then it was going to be $256 a month. So, from my car note and my insurance, that would have been $1,200 a month. I really should have followed my first thoughts and went to the lady I was going to go to before. But I was too impatient. I just needed a vehicle. So, I still ended up getting another vehicle that same within like a month, and this the vehicle I got now. So my APR is a 16%. My car note is $699.39 a month. And when I got it, it was like 26 or 28,000, but I added Gap and all that other stuff, so it ended up being like $31,000. And I know the APR was still high. I get that. I know that. I'm gonna try to pay it off as early as I can, and I'm gonna try to make 2 payments a month and then pay like an extra $100 or whatever on it. And yeah, when I say I really want to pay this truck off now, because this is my 10th vehicle. This is not the 10th vehicle I had in my name. This is probably the 4th vehicle I had in my name, because that other truck that I just let get repo was in my name. So I done had bad experiences with vehicles, and I paid one off and I bought maybe 2 cash cars. But yeah, y'all, make sure y'all credit straight. Make sure y'all got a good person that's financing your vehicle. But number one, make sure your credit straight before you try to get a vehicle, because that's why I messed up at. I was impatient. I need a vehicle. I just took my L and I said I'm going to pay it. So hopefully I can pay this off within the next 3 years, because I ain't trying to pay no $60K for this vehicle. All right, bye.
There is nothing more frustrating than people taking advantage of someone. Yo, they put her in a what was she say, 20% or something like that on her that first go around. And she did mention, she said she got impatient. That's another thing we have to think about, guys, when we're making these big purchases. I always recommend sleeping on it for 1 or 2 nights. 1 or 2 days are not going to kill you in making this decision. Like, you can step back and think about it. During that time frame is when you should be doing your research, checking your numbers, making sure you can afford it. Because it's not just the car payment you have to pay for, guys. Like she said, you have insurance. You have to pay sales tax, which is a hefty bill. You have maintenance that you have to continuously do on a car if you want it to last long. And if you're making that big of an investment, you better be doing your routine car maintenance. But damn, that is truly frustrating to see. It really is.
Yeah, I'm trying.
What's your interest rate and what's your payment on the car?
22%, and the payment on the car is like $1250 a month.
$1,250 a month on a Dodge Hellcat. Woo.
This is living above your means, final boss. If you are paying 22% on anything, not a good idea. And especially if you're only making like $21 an hour. What? This don't make no sense. Brother, please stop. Before you make another bad decision, let me show you exactly what you need. Boom, a 2008 Honda Civic, $6,000. I'm sure you can get this for like $5,000 if you negotiate. Drive this bitch till the wheels fall off. Save that money you would have been spending on a car payment until this car finally die. And trust me, this car will not die for at least 300,000 miles if you take care of it. Let's just say on average he saved about $1,000 a month for what, 3 years? You could buy anything you want at that point. But most of us not gonna do that. We need something nice and flashy, and even if we can't afford it, fuck it. Gotta pick the ladies up in something nice, right?
Guy nailed it. I mean, guys, I say this all the time, and I see the comments. It's people like, I'll never find a $6,000 to $8,000 car that I can drive. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. You just have to do a little bit of searching. You may have to drive 100 miles away. But what's it, 100-mile drive to get a cheap, reliable, affordable car and then turn around and not have a car payment? And then everyone's like, oh, well, what about the maintenance? What about stuff falling apart? Well, guys, you're going to have maintenance on your new cars too, I'm sorry to tell you. And then also, here's the thing that like drives me, it's just so funny to think about. So you look at like, what car maintenance may be, right? Like let's say we have a big expense that happens on this old beater car that we purchase, and it's a $2,000, $2,500 expense. Well, if you just pay yourself that $750, $500 car payment, well, you got that maintenance bill paid off in a few months. But, I need a new flashy car that's going to be reliable and not have to pay for maintenance, although you still will have to. But I'm just going to pay out a $500 to $750 car payment for the next 8 years, 5 years. It doesn't make any sense. You're better off having the $2,500 fix and then not having the $500 to $750 payment and driving that car while you're stacking cash in your account. That's always going to be the better way to do it. Don't get in over your head for a car payment, guys. It's not worth it.
Somebody financed an EQ?
Yes.
What kind of EQ?
EQS 450 22.
Oh man, how much did he put down on that?
I don't know, but his payout's roughly 60. He just put branded tires on it, all 4 last month. That's one plus there. But he's looking to get into a new EQS lease.
So where'd this guy come from?
It's TikTok lead. I think he's in Oklahoma.
Wow. The value on this is actually scary. Holy cow, this is a lot of car for the money, like a used EQ.
Yeah, it's got pretty decent equipment on it too.
Did he buy it used?
He bought it as a loaner. Is it $36,175?
Yeah.
It's tough.
I mean,
$112,000 car.
He knows, but that's why you don't buy these. You either lease them or you buy them super used, right? There's just not enough data yet for the used EV market.
I feel like people are like scared to buy used EVs.
Yeah, because they're still very new concept.
It could be worse though.
By far, we've seen significantly worse. Does he need another sedan? Does he want an SUV?
He does want another sedan. He doesn't really even care about color. His only must-have is the Hyperscreen, which is standard.
We have 2 loaners.
I saw one was tagged to Boston Cheetah, I think. Is that one available?
They're not going to need it anymore. Yeah, I put those comments in before you put it in as loaner.
All right, well, let me go over this with him.
Yeah, let's have that conversation first.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know if you guys caught that, but basically what they're saying is homeboy is over $30,000 in the hole on his car. And he's going to try and turn around and turn that negative equity into a new car and probably finance that old equity that he had, you know, basically he was underwater on in that car. This, guys, I'm telling you, this is why we don't make these bad decisions when it comes to cars, because they can wreck you. They can straight up wreck you financially. That's why I'm still driving my 2009 Pontiac G6 that my wife got when she graduated high school, and we're 34 years old. It has 200 and something thousand miles on it, and I'm hoping to get 300 plus out of that sucker. I do my routine maintenance, I take care of the car, I fix stuff whenever things break on it, and it drives great. AC and heat both still work. Radio kind of sucks. All of you said upgrade it, but I don't want to spend the money on it right now because who knows how long the car is going to last for. And all that money that I could be putting towards a brand new, flashy, nice car, I'm choosing to, in return, put that money towards investments to buy my freedom back, because that's the ultimate goal. To have enough money stashed away to where you can literally choose to live the life that you want to live. Listen, guys, like, don't get me wrong, like, yes, the nice items, the extra packages in these cars with all the fancy bells and whistles, it looks cool, but it's not worth it. It's not worth it. What'd she say she was spending? $658 a month at 19 years old? Let's go back and do that same example I just did on the compound interest calculator. And look what she would be getting if she would just stick $658 a month in a brokerage account over her working life. She's missing out on over $1 million. I don't know about you guys, but I'd rather have the $1 million+ in a investing account than the nice bells and whistles in a car. Just me.